town.
From Tiger Hollow Stadium in Ridgefield, Connecticut, it's an FCIAC boys lacrosse clash as the Darien Blue Wave travel to take on the Tigers of Ridgefield High. Hi, everybody. Joined alongside Cooper Puff. I'm Braden Schenk. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network for this late week FCIAC clash. And Cooper, it's been a bit of a rough stretch for Darien. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They took down Brunswick, but it's been all downhill since then for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, the Blue Wave definitely are coming in this game with a must-win opportunity. At the face-off circle, they're definitely going to have to come up big. Leo Barbagallo, they've been having a lot of trouble at the face-off position, and I think in order to win here today, they're going to have to win face-offs and allow their offense to get the ball down and score.
And now on this Ridgefield team, they come in 4-2 entering play. Did come off of a big win against the Yorktown Huskers by the final of 7-6. Cooper, who are you looking out for on this Tigers team?
Well, it's got to be Kyle Colsey. He came up big against in that Yorktown game. He scored the game-winning goal to get it to 7-6, and I think he's going to have a big day today.
Kyle Colsey, his brother Ryan, off at UVA playing for the Cavs, and he's a soon-to-be Cavalier out in the ACC. But here we go on this Thursday night from Tiger Hollow. And the first face-off won by the Ridgefield Tigers. And they set up their offense. And Cooper, once again, the struggles from the face-off X for Darien, but it's still early as a good job by the Tigers to win that one. Ridgefield, they are in their home whites, moving from left to right on your screen. Darien in the visiting blues from right to left. Now the Tigers moving it along. There's number 13, Kyle Colsey. That's going to be the guy you watch out for, as you alluded to, Cooper, the junior for this Ridgefield team. The All-American last year. Now off on the wing. There's Reinhardt. Chris Reinhardt, the captain.
Chris Reinhardt, definitely a player to watch tonight. He verbally committed to Notre Dame and will be taking a PG year at Taft.
So, of course, he's reclassified to the class of 2024. Hagen now all the way out across midfield, finds the big stick of Jake Wilson, the long stick. He hands it off, and Darien will get their first look on the offense. A good job by Darien's defense to kill off Ridgefield on the first possession. But now Darien will set up the offense. Got the scent of some popcorn coming up here in the booth. Is it just me that smells that?
No, I definitely smell that. It smells pretty good.
It does indeed here at the beautiful Tiger Hollow in Ridgefield, Connecticut. One of the best venues in the FCIAC. I guess you could say it's one of the 7 wonders of the conference. Although I don't know what the other 6 would be. Here's Porter Barnett. Barnett right back to Dylan DeRiso behind the net. Dylan DeRiso, a senior on this Darien team, seeing some time. McGuckin off the screen. Now to Picorni. DeRiso once again at X. Looks for a cutter. Instead finds Barnett. So far, 2 minutes into this game, and Ridgefield has the only shot. The pass down low. Dodging and scoring is Dylan DeRiso. DeRiso draws first blood, and Darien finds themselves on the board 2 minutes into the contest.
Yeah, that's exactly what Darien wanted to do. You know, they had Briggs McGuckin dodge to his right. He couldn't find the open space. They reset, and they found a cutting Dylan DeRiso right in front of the goal net for a goal.
Dylan DeRiso, the first goal for Darien in this afternoon's contest, and the senior puts the Wave up 1-0. And talk about a fundamental goal right there. It was a great pass, found DeRiso. He had some space, and he has his 7th on the season. And now Ridgefield finds themselves down. But again, it's a long game. 1 goal is nothing. Now Barbagallo and Brendan Penn. Actually, Jackson Penn, his brother. One of 3 Penns on this Ridgefield team. You've got Brendan Penn wearing the number 4, Jackson Penn, the number 9, the senior captain, and our goalie for Ridgefield tonight in the number 1 jersey, Dylan Penn. So talk about a lacrosse family, Cooper. How about 3 of them out there on the field for the Tigers?
Yeah, the Penn family runs deep, I guess, in the lacrosse roots here at Tiger Hollow.
Ridgefield back on the offense. There's number 44, Jimmy Gallo, the senior. Now going low as Colsey, stopped by Hagan, gets his own rebound, turned away by Wilson. A good job by the Darien senior. Turning away, Kyle Colsey. And now Darien in transition. And Cooper, what do you think a big key to the game is for Ridgefield, at least in this contest?
I definitely think Ridgefield wants to take their time with the ball. Both these teams have the potential to have lethal offenses when they're on a hot streak. So, you know, as both teams should definitely take their time, run their offense, and not force any stupid decisions.
And how about for Darien? What's a key to the game for Jeff Braymeier's squad? Never mind, there's Rupenstein off to Picorni, shooting that one just wide. And out of play, 8:20. That clock keeps ticking on. Darien up 1-0 thanks to an early goal from Dylan DeRiso. And now the Wave will restart it. There's Porter Barnett. He's coming off of a 4-goal game against Chaminade, a game that the team lost to the Flyers. Wrapping it around his scoring is Dylan DeRiso. DeRiso's getting hot, his second of the contest, and the Wave go up 2-0.
Yeah, just a beautiful goal there from DeRiso. He was able to find a little space, get his hands free, and he shot it top left corner.
Dylan DeRiso, his second goal. And on the second shots for Darien, they have another one. And again, that's the inexperience that Ridgefield has in net. They had the likes of Matthew Shepard in net last year. He graduated, now the sophomore. And Dylan Penn steps in and tries to protect the pipes for this Ridgefield team. And it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride for Penn as his brother Jackson wins yet another face-off. And that's what Darien's going to look to do to neutralize that face-off and get it to their offense, which they did against Brunswick in the win.
Yeah, you might see Darien put Graf Neely down at the face-off, not to win the clamp, just to get his stick up.
Shot and a goal. Number 5, Chris Reinhardt puts the Tigers on the board. The senior captain with goal number 14, and the Tigers are on the board.
Yeah, it was just a nice hitch there, and he got his defenseman to jump, and he turned the corner and ripped one down.
Chris Reinhardt, the goal for Ridgefield. He had 2 against Darien in the meeting last year. That was won by the Wave, 15-8 the final. And Ridgefield looking for some revenge out here. And Ridgefield has not taken down the Wave in the regular season since 2009 as the Tigers take another face-off. That one again, number 9, Jackson Penn. He's off to a hot start from the face-off X. And again, Cooper, when you got a guy like Leo Barbagallo, who's just a sophomore taking the face-offs for Darien, you're going to see a little bit of growing pains as he progresses up to his senior year in a couple of years. And that's something Darien's going to need to adjust to going forward.
Yeah, as he grows as an athlete and, you know, as the years goes by, he's going to get that experience and figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Brandon Penn now behind the net being met with Briggs McGuckin, a junior and a sophomore, respectively. Penn dishing this one out. Now over to Colsey. Colsey stopped by Hagan, trying to punch that one in, and that's Carter Hagan fielding the ground ball. And the Loyola Maryland-bound junior has himself his second save. Third save, actually. Wilson in transition. It almost intercepted, instead over to Picorni. Now to Bonner. Just past his stick, and eventually number 5, Chris Reinhardt, gets in the action. Past Picorni, looking to knock it down. He does to McGuckin. Briggs McGuckin now. And Darien will set up in the attacking third. There's Elliot Lancaster. Lancaster giving quite some room from his defender, number 31. Lancaster off to Picorni. Now at X, DeRiso. He has 2 for Darien. McGuckin, DeRiso, it's Lancaster on the screen. The give and go, Lancaster. And he took a body there from Brandon Penn, the inner hockey player, and Lancaster coming on as he falls to the turf. And now Ridgefield goes on the ride. The Tigers looking to clear it, and they get it to the attacking third. Good job by Andrew Griffin for Richfields. Griffin wearing the number 31 tonight for Richfields, not his normal 15. And that pass now soaring over into the midfield. Over the restraining line, the long stick of Dowd. Looking to keep it with the Tigers, and Reinhardt not able to get there, being fight off by Picorni, and the flag will be thrown on it, so we'll see our first penalty about to ensue. Of course, Reinhardt will get the free possession for the Tigers. You can hear the coaches yelling. Reinhardt looking to command the offense. Jackson Penn comes over. And now we wait. Penn going straight to the cage, dumping it off at X. Good ride there by Des Corey. Kyle Colsey. Treating it right back out. Jimmy Gallo again. And Cooper, what's the mentality for Ridgefield here with the delayed flag on Darien?
You know, they definitely want to find a shot here. You know, they have the whole possession here. They don't want to lose the ball, so they're going to take their time and not force any bad
Gallo shoots and just wide of Hagan. Possession stays with the Tigers, and there will be our penalty enforced. So Ridgefield will go player up and get their first man-up opportunity of the contest, as Briggs McGuckin will take a seat in the box. Actually, will be Brady Picorni, rather. That's a big loss for Darien, wearing the number 99, and he's off for 30 seconds. 30-second holding call on Brady Picorni, and now the Tigers get 30 seconds on the man-up, looking to capitalize. And Cooper, how important are these man-up opportunities?
They're huge. I mean, when there's a guy not on the field, it almost feels like you should score every time.
McNamara turning that one over. And that's a good defensive effort there by the long stick from the Darien sophomore. And now the Wave have the ball. Again, player down, so they're going to look to kill off the last 10 seconds on the penalty. McGarren, the Bucknell commits. Off to Barnett's. And that kills off the man up, so Picorni leaves the box. Both teams back to even strength. DeRiso again on the pick. Now Rupenstein. Freshman of Max McBride getting the touch. McBride, 2 goals, 2 assists to his name this season. And he's one of 5 freshmen on Jeff Braymeyer's team, and that's something, Cooper, that head coach B is building for the future here in Darien, and he's got some talented freshmen to do that with.
Yeah, for sure. Having these freshmen get this early experience in their high school career will only make them better for the future.
It will indeed, especially playing one of the FCIAC's premier teams, such as Ridgefield's. That one dumped off to Asa Beach, the senior committed to St. Lawrence. DeRiso, he wants his hat trick, and turned away by Penn. Dylan Penn makes his first save of the contest, and now Dylan DeRiso looks to track him down. The first save is always the hardest one to make, and Penn gets it out of the way. Well, under 3 minutes to go. The long stick of Cruzmeyer. He still has it. Meyer. He'll shoot and stopped by Hagan. Flag has been thrown, however, for some late contact. And the referee will come in and award Ridgefield another man up. But Cruzmeyer went all the way to the cage before the long stick of McGarren trips him up.
Yeah, Meyer just had a open lane right to the goal there.
And it's actually going to be on McNamara here, so they're going to call the contact right there for McNamara, coming into the push of Meyer right there. So it's going to be a minute penalty against McNamara. And he'll take a knee. Ridgefield going man up for the next minutes. Cooper, the Tigers were unable to convert on their first man up. Now they will look for better fortunes here in this first quarter. Reinhardt. Now to Colsey. using the extra man. Penn bouncing it, stopped by the big spoon of Hagan, leaves the goal wide open, and eventually picking it up and scoring it is Jimmy Gallo. And the Tigers get the equalizer off the man up. Jimmy Gallo, the number 44, just going straight to the cage and beating Carter Hagan with the open cage.
Just a great play there from Jimmy Gallo. He sensed that the goalie was out of position, the ball was right in front of him, and he was able to get a quick goal there. Definitely took a hit though, but he got the goal.
Jimmy Gallo, the senior for Ridgefield, committed to Washington College to play lacrosse, and he has the equalizer for the Tigers here with 1:58 to go in the opening quarter. McNamara freed from the box, so both teams back to even strength as the Tigers convert on the man up. Barbagallo fighting for the scrum on the ball, and the long stick of Bonner fields the ground ball. The Wave have their first face-off win. In transition, stopped by Penn. Dylan Penn turning away one of the best attackers in the FCIAC in Brady Picorni. And now the Tigers look for something before the quarter expiration, but they can't with that right there as they turn it over. You see it right there. Penn just puts the stick up, jumps up, and makes the stop. And the young sophomore has his second save in the contest.
Definitely a great save there from Penn, but just an unfortunate turnover for the Tigers.
Darien setting up the offense. We've had some early goals thanks to Dylan Doriso. There's Briggs McGuckin. He's got 4 goals on the season for the Wave. Bilodeau to McBride. Now to Rupenstein. Now Picorni. Looking for the cutter. McGuckin's open. He's got some space and turned away. Couldn't tell if that hit the stick or the post, but I'm going to say with the launch trajectory, probably off the post.
Yeah, great look there for McGuckin. And it just bounces right off the post.
Darien looking to capitalize on it. 45. And now Dylan Doriso. Right back to Porter Barnett. Looking for the extra guy. Picorni off to Bilodeau. He's got some space. Bilodeau up high. Heads up. Ben Bilodeau fires that one just high. The ball does stay with the Wave, however. And this Wave team is now peppering Penn and net. 25 on the restart.
Darien getting great looks here, and that's exactly what Darien wants to do.
Wrapping this one around and going high from Doriso, and that's going to the Tigers. So with 15.6 left, Roy Colsey's squad will have a chance for some late offense. Penn on the restart to the long stick of Cruzmeyer. That's Cruz with a K for any of you wondering out there. What a name that is. And he is pickpocketed from Briggs McGuckin. Although with only 2 left, he needs a Hail Mary. Doriso just over his head. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Doriso not able to get there. Through 12, Darien 2, Ridgefield 2. You're watching the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back. We are through one quarter from Tiger Hollow. Darien and Ridgefield tied up 2 apiece. And now they get set for the second quarter in this contest. Braden Shank and Cooper Puff on hand. So glad you can be with us on this Thursday night from beautiful Ridgefield, Connecticut. And Cooper, I don't think there's a much better venue in the FCIAC than Tiger Hollow.
No, it's truly a beautiful place.
I mean, you can see the trees out in the background. We're here, I think, at an actual hollow. That's why it's called Tiger Hollow, but it truly is one of the toughest places for an opposition to come in and one of the most beautiful places to watch a game as a spectator. And especially when they just redid it last year, the turf. I know the entire athletic staff here at Dane Street has been working hard to make this place truly premier, and they've done a great job at it as Penn wins the opening faceoff for the Tigers. That's Jackson Penn as he wins his 4th faceoff of the contest. Actually, 5th faceoff. 5 for 6 on him. It was a pretty evenly matched first quarter. Dylan Doriso scored 2 for the Wave, and for the Tigers, it was Gallo and Colton Penn that put up their 2 goals. Starting off with a bang, and that's Hagen with the save. Now off to McGarren.
Hagen's done a great job in the cage today. Really shutting down Colsey.
Well, he's done a great job all season for Darien. The junior made 15 saves in the upset win against Brunswick a couple games ago, and he's just been such a stellar player for this Darien team. The best part is he's just a junior, so presumably he comes back next year, plays for head coach Jeff Braymeyer in the Wave, and this team's only getting better with the years going on. They've got a lot of juniors, sophomores, some freshmen that are coming back next year. If you think this team is dangerous now, just waiting to see them next season when they are truly going all guns blazing. Plus, you got the one of the stars of the conference, Brady Picorni, coming back. Just a junior. He'll be playing in his farewell season. Bilodeau off to Lancaster. Down low, and Doriso loses it in the sun. And talk about how brutal that sun is. You're looking directly in it as Doriso fumbles on that one. Again, the sun coming over on the left side from the scoreboard, going right into the goalie's face down there on the right side, which right now is Dylan Penn, but Carter Hagen had to deal with that for the first quarter. Big hits. Turn away. Picorni now going straight to the cage. Brady Picorni shoots and scores. Brady Picorni showing off the moves. Gets the turnover, goes straight to the cage, and Picorni adds another to his name.
Yeah, it was just a great ride from the attackmen and the middies there. Brady able to get a quick ground ball and had a free line to the cage.
Brady Picorni, the junior captain. You see it right here, steals it from Brandon Penn, and kind of a weird arm angle on it, but he still gets the shot off and goes high to beat Penn for the goalie. He beat 2 Penns on one play.
He did.
He did. Someone should put that on a T-shirt, I feel like.
Are you going to make that T-shirt?
I mean, I'm not going to. I'm saying if anybody out there wants to make the T-shirt, I feel like it would be one of those good sayings. Nonetheless, back to the face-off X into the open space, and the ground ball fielded by Chris Reinhardt and the Tigers. And Cooper, how do you think that sun's going to play into today's game? Because now that I'm looking over, it's really brutal out there.
Well, you saw earlier that Doriso had trouble seeing it, but Penn as well in the cage is going to definitely have trouble seeing it. So, you know, it's disadvantages for both sides.
Again, the teams have switched sides for this second quarter. Darien moving from left to right on your screen. Ridgefield from right to left. Darien in their home, but actually they're visiting blues with the white numbering. Ridgefield in the home whites with the black numbering. And the black helmets with the Ridgefield Tiger on it. Definitely one of the cooler helmets in the FCIAC, I got to say. They got the orange cages and everything. Left-handed stick shot from Chris Reinhardt. Bouncing it, stopped by Hagen. Reinhardt's got 14 goals on the season. He scored the first one for Ridgefield in the contest. The All-FCIAC third-teamer a season ago. Now the restart from Gallo. Gallo's a player you got to watch out for. He's had 4 multi-goal games this season for the Ridgefield Tigers, and he is dangerous when he heats up. Another unforced turnover on the Tigers. Wilson to Barnett. Porter Barnett going to the cage. He scores. Porter Barnett adding another, and the Bucknell-bound junior has goal number 7 on the year.
That was just great transition game there. Darien's defense came up huge, caused a turnover, found Wilson. He was able to find Porter, and he, again, just a almost clear line right to the cage, and a 1v1 against the keeper. The player's definitely going to come up with the win.
Porter Barnett, the attacker for Darien, the junior, picks up his first in the contest, his 7th on the season. And that gives Darien the 4-2 lead here in this second quarter. Now Barbagallo and Penn back from the faceoff X. And Barbagallo, the clean faceoff win. It's something he's struggled with all year, but he wins one right there and now sets it up to Doriso in the offense.
Yeah, great win there from Barbagallo. That's definitely what the Wave need to improve on, but that's a great win there and a great momentum starter for the Wave Fogo.
You alluded to in the open, Cooper, that is something that Darien has really been losing when they lost Ty Comiskey to graduation last year. That dominant faceoff guy, someone that could just overpower the opposition. Barbagallo forcing more of the scrums on it, trying to get all 3 players involved. But when they play the likes of Cal Gerard, Andrew Greenspan, not sure I'm drawing a blank on the St. Anthony's guy that they're going to play this weekend, but when they play those top Fogos in the country, they're going to get beat every day of the week. Naso is the name, and that's a goal from Brady Picorni. He's the name to know. Picorni adds another to the Wave, and they have a 3-goal lead now.
Yeah, and that's just great lacrosse. Darien was able just to pass the ball around, get a couple dodges, reset, and they found a wide-open Brady Picorni, and that's definitely someone you don't want to leave wide open.
The Notre Dame commit, 5-star All-American Brady Picorni with his 2nd in the game. And that's Darien's 5th goal of the contest. Again, he truly is one of the best attackers in the FCIAC, and it's going to be tough for any opposition to try to slow him down.
And the Wave get him back next year, as he's only a junior.
The best part, he had 6 goals against Staples in the win. Quite a remarkable accomplishment, as he's now got 18 on the season. Not quite the 58 he had last year, but there's still a lot of games left.
He had 6 in his last matchup, so it's definitely still in question.
Also just got word the Darien-Ridgefield girls game hit a conclusion. The Darien girls took down Ridgefield 18-11. And the girls team, what a year Lisa Lindley is leading them to. They were undefeated, 8-0 on the season. And they're going to be one of the top FCIAC powerhouses this year. And they're looking to get back to the top. They've fallen to New Canaan in the past couple of years. And Darien's looking to go the back-to-back on the boys and girls side, something they've not done in a couple of years. Doriso. Not a Picorni. Shot there, stopped by Penn. And Dylan Penn's looking to heat up. Darien's 10th shot of the contest. Compare that to Ridgefield's 8. Pretty evenly matched so far from the shots, but again, the saves make all the difference there. You look at the 7 for Hagen, the 3 for Penn.
And again, just a error there for the Tigers.
Those errors are going to kill any team, especially when you're playing a top-tier team like Darien or like Ridgefield's. And that's one right there. Another goal for the Wave.
Yeah, Picorni was able to find a almost wide open again, McGuckin, and he had a time and room shot, and he was able to bury it.
Briggs McGuckin with the goal for Darien. And now head coach Roy Colsey will come out to take his time out, looking to slow down this Darien offense that has just been surging as of late. They've scored the last 4 unanswered in this second quarter, Cooper. And what do the Tigers need to do differently for the final 6 minutes of the quarter?
Well, the Tigers have just had difficulty holding onto the ball. They've had a lot of turnovers, dropped passes, and they just got to clean that up. And if they do that, they'll be right back in this game.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Ridgefield, they played Darien tight in that first quarter. It was 2-2 coming down the stretch, but then Darien really has accelerated once they hit this second quarter. 4 unanswered in the quarter, and it's tough to stop the offensive likes of Brady Picorni, Porter Barnett, Doriso, and so many more. And Dylan Penn's trying his best, but so far it's not been working in this second quarter. As Darien goes up 6-2, you're watching the DAF Media Network. We're going to step aside and be right back with more second quarter action between the Wave and the Tigers. 6:31 to play before the half. Barbagallo and Penn back for the faceoff. Again, Darien has scored the last 4 unanswered inside this second quarter, looking to extend the streak. And Barbagallo fields the ground ball. Leo's got another faceoff win. And a shot there, going all the way up in the air. Talk about the launch angle on that one. I mean, that ball rocketed up. You see it right here. Barbagallo fighting off the defense of Penn. Gets the shot off, and what did that hit off of? Oh, hit off of the head of Dylan Penn. A shot there just wide. I mean, I guess that's why you wear a helmet in nets. And Penn got his head in the game. Restart on the clock. 6 minutes to go, halfway through this second quarter. DeRiso down low to Picorni. He fakes out and goes high. Brady Picorni with his hat trick. And the Wave keep on rolling in this second quarter.
Again, right back where Picorni scored his last. He's just found wide open on the crease, and this time, instead of going low, fakes low, goes high.
Brady Picorni, truly a magician with the ball in his stick. That time fakes low on Penn, but actually is going high on it, fooling the sophomore goaltender. And Brady Picorni has his 3rd in the ball game. It's 7-2 Wave. And again, this is a big contest for Darien. They're 1-1 in the FCIAC right now. Took down Fairfield Ludlow in their first conference game, but dropped this weekend's one with Staples in a game that Darien led most of the contest until the Wreckers won a couple late faceoffs, went on to Hagan and net, and the Wreckers really just dominated the last 5 minutes of that game, Cooper.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate loss for the Wave. That's definitely not what they wanted to do, winning the entire game, like you said, and they just came up short.
Rupenstein, he's tripped up, and they're going to say he stepped out, so that ball's going the other way. They're playing the navy blue lines out there. Rupenstein just steps on it, and the referees turn it to the other side. Which I'm trying to figure out their color coordinations out there. They've got the white football, the orange, I think girls lacrosse, the blue boys lacrosse, yellow, I want to say soccer maybe? If that, I could be wrong on that. You think they would color coordinate with the black and orange, don't you think?
You'd think so.
It would make sense. But yet again, there's a reason we're up here calling the game and not designing those fields down there. Unless it's a beautiful turf they just installed. 7-2, Darien leads Ridgefield. If you're just joining us, Braden Shank and Cooper Puff with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this FCIAC boys lacrosse clash. And that ball is knocked into the open space. Tracking it down is Grafton Ely. Ely falls to the turf. The scrum at the midline. White push, and that's going to Darien. Grafton Ely putting the body on the line. The Mercer commits. And Morgan Rupenstein will restart for the Wave. Max McBride. McBride had a goal against Staples on Saturday. Again, a game that Darien unfortunately fell to the Wreckers 13-11. Staples now nationally ranked, just 23rd. It's what they were in that contest. And Cooper, that's a big thing we haven't talked about yet. Darien, this is game number 7 for the Wave, but their 5th nationally ranked opponent they have played. They opened against number 23 Prep. They took down number 1 Brunswick, as Penn gets it right there. Lost to number 9 Manhasset. They played number 5 Chaminade, number 23 Staples. It's truly a gauntlet of opponents that head coach Jeff Braymeyer scheduled this year.
Yeah, Jeff Braymeyer definitely wanted to give the Wave the best opponents they can. And we're going to see that here. And, you know, the early half of the season was, as you said, a lot of top 5 or top nationally ranked teams. But, you know, towards the end of their schedule, it gets a little easier.
Does a little bit at the end. They're in the middle part. They got to play another number 1 team on Saturday. The St. Anthony's Friars, the new number 1 team. Brunswick fell to Lawrenceville a couple days ago. So the Bruins are now, I think, down at 5 or 6. And the Friars are your new number 1. And that's a goal from number 1-6. Desmond Corey breaks the scoring drought for the Tigers in the second quarter. And Corey makes it 7-3.
Yeah, it was a great pass from Jimmy Gallo to Corey. And Corey was able to bury a shot and get it past Hagan.
Des Corey, the sophomore, with the goal. And a big one right there to cut it down to a 7-3 game. Corey, he had 2 against Darien last year as a freshman at the DHS Stadium Field. And once again, he adds to his total against the Blue Wave. A big goal from Corey, and it gets Ridgefield now on the board in the second quarter as they head back to the face-off X. Barbagallo, it's actually number 13 for the Wave taking the face-off. And just realizing that's their new call-up that Darien called up prior to, I believe, today's game. Number 13, Gavin Pearsall. They did suffer an injury of Jack Silsby from the face-off X, so they had Barbagallo, the only Fogo on the roster, and Gavin Pearsall is who head coach Jeff Braymeyer called up to this varsity team, as well as Wes Scallon wearing the number 34, and I believe there should be one more. Probably one more player I'm missing out there. But like I said, head coach Jeff Braymeyer always starts with a smaller roster. Then as the year progresses, he calls kids up from JV. And he started with 38 guys, now up to 41 on the roster. Dylan Weibel, the third call-up he made, wearing the number 19. Of course, brothers with the great Cam Weibel, who was the starting goalkeeper for Darien. So again, Weibel, Pearsall, and Scallon, the 3 call-ups for Darien. Kyle Colsey. Colsey behind the net. McNamara giving him some space. 2 minutes to go before the half. This one just high over the receiver of number 44, Jimmy Gallo. Now under 2 minutes to go. Wrapping this one around, shooting it, bouncing it just low of Porter Barnett's.
Barnett yet to get on the board today. Oh, no.
No,
Barnett scored.
He has 1.
My apologies.
7 goals is a lot to keep track of, Coop.
I guess so.
It's been a long week, hasn't it? First week back from school, or back to school.
Yeah, just getting back into my routine here.
Timeout taken by Jeff Braymeyer as he will look to get his team back in their routine with 1:26 to go before halftime. Darien leads Ridgefield 7-3. You're watching the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back with the conclusion of this second quarter.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through...
Apologies for that. We're back on the DAF Media Network. Under 90 seconds to play in this second quarter. Teresa moving around. Cooper, you think Darien's holding for the last shot?
Most likely. You know, they're up 7-3. They don't want to give Ridgefield another opportunity to get one before half.
So Darien moving along the perimeter. 50 seconds to go before halftime. 7-3, the game Darien leads. They got off to the early start and haven't looked back. Rupenstein. Now Barnett. Shot just wide, and that one hit off of number 54, Jack Pavlonis. .4 to play. That one's whistled in. The cuts. Lee Crody looking to get there. Darien bringing in some of their depth guys. And that one's heading down to Ridgefield. Good job by the Tigers to hold strong. And they're actually going to keep it with Darien, so the referees changed their call, and it goes in favor of the boys in blue.
And the Tiger Hollow fans are definitely letting the referees
Rupenstein
know.
bounces it and he scores. Morgan Rupenstein fooling out Penn, and the Darien Jr. gives Darien one more before the half.
Morgan Rupenstein leaving it all out there. Definitely took some contact to get that one to go.
Morgan Rupenstein, goal number 7 on the season, and Darien regains the 5-goal lead. A big goal from Rupenstein, and now with just 16 seconds left before halftime, you got to assume whoever wins this faceoff is going to have a huge advantage.
Yeah, definitely going to want a clean win here to get an opportunity.
Barbagallo has won 3 faceoffs for Darien. They did go to the alternate there, and that was won by Penn. Penn now dodging to the cage, looking to get a shot off before the half. Falls down, stays with the ball, gets right back up, and eventually the flag will be thrown. However, the refs will call the play off with 4.8 seconds to go. And Ridgefield will get a man up to end this second quarter and start the third quarter. And this will be the third man-up opportunity for the Tigers. They converted on the second, were unable to on the first one. As this number 20, Will Bonner, go into the box, and Ridgefield very smartly will just burn out the clock, and that will take us to the end of one half. Darien 8, Ridgefield 3. Cooper, what'd you see in the opening half?
Well, Darien did a great job on the offensive side. They took their time. They found great looks, and they didn't really turn over the ball. And that's definitely been definitely have given them trouble during the season. Ridgefield definitely having some turnover troubles themselves. But Darien did a great job. Ridgefield needs to come into out of halftime and definitely push the offense.
We've got a 10-minute halftime. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break, but through the first, or actually after the first half, Darien leads Ridgefield 8-3 on the DAF Media Network. We'll be back with second half action between the Wave and the Tigers.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm But in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all of this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. Regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation Board is made up of local parents, parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
We're back on the DAF Media Network. You see right there, first half stats. Darien leads Ridgefield 8-3 after the first half of play. Cooper, anything stick out to you on the stats?
Well, obviously, Picorni's 3 goals, 1 assist so far in this matchup. So he's having a big day.
Oh, he definitely is. And he always has a big game, it feels like, for Darien. Brady Picorni, the big X factor for this Darien team. And for Ridgefield, did anything go wrong for them, or what did go wrong for the Tigers in that first half?
Well, like I said before break, the Tigers had a lot of errors, just some drop passes. If they clean that up, they should be able to get their way back into this game.
They should indeed. There's still a lot of time left to be played. We're just through the first 24 minutes, and it's the Blue Wave who control an 8-3 lead on the Ridgefield Tigers. But again, anything can happen in high school lacrosse, especially when it's Darien and Ridgefield. And now Penn and Hagen will retake their nets as they get set for the second half of play. 8-3 our score. Darien got going early and has not looked back in this contest. Ridgefield looking for some late resurgence in it. Darien's face-off struggles, Cooper, really haven't come to play. Lito Barbagallo having a solid game, a couple clean face-off wins. But again, against a team like Ridgefield, who doesn't really have a definitive fogo, it's kind of a dogfight out there.
Yeah, we've definitely seen Ridgefield mix up the face-off matchup, but Barbagallo's doing a great job tonight. I do believe that the Tigers have more face-offs so far in this matchup, but he's keeping them in it.
As our first half stats showed us, 10-4 the score from the face-off X in favor of the Ridgefield Tigers, and we are underway in this third quarter. Again, the Tigers starting man up, so that's why they are starting with the ball, and there is no face-off, so it doesn't matter who's winning what out there. But again, here we are in this third quarter. Ground ball fielded there by number 8, or number 9 rather, Penn. That's Jackson Penn. He's committed to Stevenson to play lacrosse for the Ducks. I'll say that's quite a mascot there, the Stevens Ducks.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't expect Stevens to. Doesn't really sound like a duck kind of school.
A duck kind of school. What would you classify as a duck kind of school?
Oregon.
Oregon, okay, that makes sense. They've got 4 left on the man up, looking to capitalize. There's Colsey. He's been kept at bay so far. McGuckin enters the zone. They kill off the penalty. Both teams back to even strength. Jackson Penn. Now Penn behind the nets. Lancaster giving him some space. Penn once again slowing it down. Senior, he had 2 goals against Yorktown. 3rd year on this varsity team. The rifle shot from Reinhardt, skipping it just wide past Hagen. And the Tigers will get the restart. There's number 13, Kyle Colsey.
Tigers doing a good job at it, coming out of half, taking their time on offense. Not really forcing any bad shots.
Colsey, the big X factor on this Ridgefield team, the number 3 player in the class of 2023. And that's a big player to keep at bay if you're Darien, and that's exactly what they've done. Nice spin move, shooting this one, stopped by the big spoon of Carter Hagen. Hagen steps up to the plate, stopping Reinhardt in his tracks. And the Darien Jr. has another save, make it 7 in the ball game. Both teams making some substitutions now, getting their units ready. Here's McGuckin. If you're just joining us, Braden Shank and Cooper Puff with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. The flags have been waved on it, so Darien will get their first look on the man up. But first they go down low to Doriso and off the side of the cage. And there will be the flag enforced. And Darien will get their first look on a man up. And Cooper, what does the Darien man up unit look like?
Well, you're definitely going to have Picorni as your front man. You got McGuckin on the sides, Doriso, Barnett. And you got the young freshman Bilodeau out there who's got a cannon of a shot.
He does indeed. He's buried 3 goals this season. Scored last against Manhasset in a game that Darien fell 11-2 to the Indians, but he had 1 of the 2 goals, so I guess that's a positive for Ben. However, it was a game that Darien just didn't look pretty for the Blue Waves. We'll leave it at that. 30-second penalty for cross-checking against the Ridgefield Tigers, number 44. Jimmy Gallo.
I believe it was an offsides penalty.
That's possible. I'm just listening to the radio in the background. That's a goal. Briggs McGuckin falling to the ground adds another to Darien's cause. His 2nd of the ball game and the team's 9th. And the Wave converts on the man-up situation. Briggs McGuckin with the goal. And just like that, it's 9-3 Blue Wave. You see it right here. McGuckin gets the pass down low from Picorni and just rifles it on the low corner for the score. And now Ridgefield finds himself down by 6. And Darien, and there's a good way to start for Ridgefield. Jackson Penn, the clean face-off win. Penn, a senior captain on this team. Now behind the nets. Wrapping it around. Thinking about shooting it, instead retreats it out to number 5, Chris Reinhardt. Reinhardt committed to Notre Dame. He will be playing lacrosse for the Fighting Irish in 2 years. Is going to Taft next year to take a PG year. He decommitted from Lafayette to go to Notre Dame. So he'll be teammates with Brady Picorni in 2 years over in South Bend. Shot and a sniping goal from Kyle Colsey. You can't draw it up any better than that right there, folks. Kyle Colsey going top corner for the score.
Colsey being such a phenomenal player, it's hard to keep him quiet almost the entire night, and he gets his first there. Wilson's done a great job all night, but Colsey gets the better of him.
Kyle Colsey, goal number 16 for the Ridgefield Jr. You hear the music playing, the fans going nuts. Kyle Colsey, the junior, with the goal. And Cooper, what a story that is. Kyle Colsey, son of head coach Roy Colsey. And Roy, talk about his playing career, a star for the Syracuse Orange. Face-off win will go to the Tigers. Now he hands it off to his 2 kids, Ryan and Kyle, who are 2 just tremendous lacrosse players out there. And again, you see where it comes from. Roy is one of the best to ever put on Syracuse orange jersey, and now both of his kids are going off to play for the University of Virginia Cavaliers. So I guess some bitter family rivalry, if you will, some ACC rivalry.
Maybe a little there, but Roy Colsey definitely is going to become a Virginia fan soon, or is now.
I got to see
Ryan
he's now.
Is there for his freshman year.
Ryan graduated last year for Ridgefield. He's one of the big spark plugs on this Tigers team, and now his brother Kyle looking to lead him. And again, you knew at some point he was going to strike. It was just a matter of when was Kyle Colsey going to break free. And now there's Colsey on the spin move, looking to go on a run. Stopped by Hagan. Good job by Carter Hagan to fall on the ground and make the save. He's got 8 in the ball game now.
Got to give a lot of credit to Hagan. He's making some phenomenal saves tonight.
Carter Hagan, one of the best fundamental goalies in the conference. And now the Wave set up on the offense. Dylan DeRiso behind the net. Being given quite some room from his defender, Kruzmeyer. Porter Barnett to Rupenstein. Again, Darien, they have a tough road ahead. On Saturday, they travel down to Huntington to take on the St. Anthony's Friars, the #1 team in the country, over at Cy Donnelly Fields. Again, the Friars have having a good year, undefeated on Long Island. They took down Chaminade, took down Manhasset, a couple other teams on the island. So they truly are the #1 team in the country. But, hey, look at the last time Darien took on a #1 team. Nice move from Picorni going to his offhand. Now met with a double team. Meyer comes over to help. And turned away. That was Meyer and Penn on the defense. And now Penn, the high pass over the long stick of Jalen Simpson. The senior committed to, or is considering offers from Stevens and the Hampton who play college lacrosse. And he's the senior defender for this Ridgefield team.
And again there, Ridgefield with just a turnover there. And, you know, that's definitely not what Ridgefield wants to do if they want to get back into this game down 5.
There's Beach. Now to McBride. Brady Picorni. Via Beach. Right back to Picorni. Now to an open Rupenstein, and that one is up high. And as I look over into the woods, Cooper, I don't know why, what sticks out to me, those 2 balloons stuck in the trees. It looks like a 1 and a 0. I don't know what they would have been celebrating, but there's a couple balloons stuck up there. Any guesses?
I'm not sure.
You don't even want to take a guess. Wow. Takes the fun out of it. Beach now off to McBride. Come on, it's the little details that matter. Viewers got to know that. Giving me a sign of disapproval. And a goal from Morgan Rupenstein. He gets the sign of approval. And Morgan Rupenstein puts the Wave in the double-digit land. A great goal from the Blue Wave. And Morgan Rupenstein has his second in the game.
Morgan Rupenstein missed his last shot, but finds another time and room and gets that one to go.
Just goes to that top right corner. Penn a little behind it. And Morgan Rupenstein has the goal for the Blue Wave as they grab a 6-goal lead. Barbagallo and Penn back to the face-off X. Referee's keeping a tight grip on it. And a violation against Penn. That ball's going to the Wave. Again, the silly errors right there hurt every team, especially when you're trailing by 6 to a team like Darien. Briggs McGuckin. And this one off to Lancaster. Thought about getting a cutter. Now to DeRiso. Bilodeau just past DeRiso. Lancaster. Good ball movement. Picorni looking for the finishing touch. Just wide.
Picorni looking for his 4th.
Ooh, that would have been quite an accomplishment. Even though that's nothing for Brady. He's put up 6, 7 in games before. Picorni. Right back to DeRiso. Dylan DeRiso, the left-handed shot, instead gets it to Lancaster for the goal. 50-55, and Elliot Lancaster finishes for Darien's 11th goal in the contest.
Darien's doing a great job on the offensive side, taking their time, and they're just finding the open guys for a nice time and room shot, and again, they're finishing.
Goal number 5 for Elliot Lancaster on the season, and this Wave team is rolling. I can't say it enough. Ridgefield just has no answer to Darien right now. It's 11-4. 5:10 to play in the third quarter. Barbagallo and Penn back for the faceoff. Whistles are blowing, and a push against the wave. That ball's going to the Tigers. Braden Shank, Cooper Puff with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network, wherever you may be on this Thursday night, for a FCIAC conference clash between the Darien Blue Wave and the Ridgefield Tigers. These teams have met in a lot of historically great matchups. You look at the state championship they played a couple years ago, all the way back in 2018 at Brian McMahon, in which the Ridgefield Tigers took down Darien 9-8. That was a game that a lot of people looked at and said there should have been a shot clock after that game. Ridgefield went up, I want to say, I think it's 8-7 at halftime. They held the ball for most of the fourth quarter and just iced off the clock. It led them to a state championship. They also met in the FCIAC semifinals in 2021. That was the COVID year when Darien couldn't play out of conference teams, so they played Ridgefield twice that year and took down the Tigers in both meetings. Plus a couple other FCIACs and state championships along the way. But these teams are definitely some friendly rivals when it comes to postseason lacrosse, although the Wave has had the Tigers' number over the last couple meetings. 17 to be exact. Now the long stick of number 15, Andrew, actually 25 rather, Michael Dowd. That makes more sense. The All-FCIAC second team are off to play for the Brown Bears. Actually, is it the Bears or the Bruins? I think it's the Bears, right?
I believe it is the Bears.
It was one of those two. Off in the Ivy League. You're Googling it now? I'm pretty sure it's the Bears.
They are the Bears.
I'll look at that. Track record stays intact. Brendan Penn. Now to Reinhard. Colsey. Colsey dodging the cage, pushed away by the Loyola Maryland commit Jake Wilson. And now with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, the Tigers regroup. Chris Reinhardt. Bonner playing the defense. Reinhardt dumping this one off. And that is a goal. Ridgefield adding another right there. Looking to stay relevant in this game, and they finish on it.
Yeah, another great shot there from Chris Reinhardt, using his 6'3" frame to muscle his way into a great shot.
And Chris Reinhardt with the goal for the Tigers. It cuts it down to a 7-goal deficit. Actually, 6 goals. My math needs some work, apparently. Nonetheless, though, still a Darien lead. 2:38 to play in this third quarter. Barbagallo and Penn. Barbagallo, the one-handed snag. Now off to the open Rupenstein, and here comes the Wave. Ely exits, in his place comes Doriso. Lee Crody also entering play for Darien, the junior with 2 goals to his name. Doriso. It's actually Pavlonis to Barnett. Finds a cutter, and Crody turned away by Michael Dowd and the Tigers. Here comes the long stick of Dowd. The 4-star recruit retreats it back. Penn. Now to Simpson. Jalen Simpson across the 50. And now the Tigers will set up the offense. As for Ridgefield, they take on their second nationally ranked opponent in their next game as they travel to Long Island for a clash against the Manhasset Indians tomorrow night. Some Friday night lights on Long Island. It's the only two of the three nationally ranked teams Ridgefield will play this year. They do have to play the number 16 Staples Wreckers on May 13th. And talk about a team that has really surged as a Lake Cooper. Staples started the year unranked. They won the Class L championship last year, but they are off to a great start so far this year. 6-0 and has defeated some of the best teams in the conference.
Yeah, they've just been phenomenal all year and have played great lacrosse. And even as you saw when they played Darien, they never were out of it, and they were able to come back and pull up a great upset.
Well, that's one thing that head coach Will Koshansky has really done up in Westport is he's developed a newer style of playing the game, and it was truly, as Hagan makes the stop right there, was truly a clash of the old style against the new style on Saturday when Jeff Braymeyer took on Koshansky and the Wreckers, and I guess the new style won. So it's going to be interesting if they meet for a rematch in the state tournament or the FCIAC playoffs, because I got to assume Darien's hungry for some revenge on the Wreckers. Considering I think it's been the only two times they've ever beaten Darien have come in the last two meetings. Jackson Penn now dumping this one off to Corey. Making a nice move is Reinhardt. He's got two, looking for the hat trick. $12 to work. And that one turned away by Hagan in the wave. The Hail Mary pass past the Tiger. The one bounce over Barnett's head. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Darien leads Ridgefield 11-5 after 3. We still have 12 minutes to play. You're watching the DAF Media Network. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be an exciting one when we return. We're back on the DAF Media Network, getting ready to start the fourth quarter of play. There's the horn, so the intermission's over, and now they shift their attention to the fourth quarter. In a game that Darien leads 11-5, Braden Shank and Cooper Puff with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. And Cooper, I do just want to point out a quick DAF food review. Popcorn here. What would you rate it out of 10?
Well, it was microwavable popcorn, so I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 probably.
Oh, see, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. You know, we've come to a lot of venues over the last 4 years with DAF Media. Tiger Hollow definitely up at the top, especially going down there. You know, we hinted at the top of the broadcast the popcorn smell we smelled, and we got some at the halftime break, and I got to say it was delicious here at Tiger Hollow. I might even give it a 9 out of 10 for the viewers out there. It was truly some great popcorn, and keeps us refreshed here for this fourth quarter of play. I've got to say, Dane Street and everyone here in Ridgefield has done a fabulous job with Tiger Hollow and really building up this athletic complex. And that one now to Penn. Out into the empty space, the long stick of Tobin. Just losing it. Lee Crody fighting. And that's going the other way in favor of the Wave. The team switched sides for one last time. Darien in the visiting blues with the white numbering, moving from left to right on your screen. Ridgefield in the home whites with the black numbering from right to left. Darien now moving along Rupenstein. Good crowd on hand here from Tiger Hollow in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Truly one of the wonders of the FCIAC. I'm not even sure if I can name the 7 wonders.
Of the world?
Yeah.
I don't think I could either. I think I'd
Mount
probably forget a
Rushmore,
couple.
Easter Head Island statues, maybe. Machu Picchu, I think that's definitely one of them. I have a feeling we are not doing too great on them.
You're missing one that's in the United States.
Really? 7 wonders of the world. The pyramids, yeah, we definitely missed a lot of them, didn't we? Taj Mahal, the pyramids. What's that, Rio de Janeiro? Machu Picchu, I did get that one. Got one of them. I would put Tiger Hollow on that list. Just gonna throw it out there.
So it's the 8th wonder.
The 8th wonder of the world, after we couldn't even come close to naming the other 7. Porter Barnett. He's got some room by his defender, Simpson. Barnett once again moving it around. Darien controlling an 11-5 lead. So they're quite comfortable in this game. Corny now in the end zone, and he is seeing the ball knocked loose. Simpson, the long stick, playing the pesky defense, and that ball's going to the Tigers, so Simpson causes the turnover. Oh, here we go. The Great Wall, the Roman Colosseum, the Taj Mahal, Machu Picchu, the Christ statue in Brazil, the pyramids in Mexico, and it says something in Jordan. I don't know how right that is, but that's the 7 wonders of the world. Took us almost a quarter. We finally got to the bottom of it. Again, I'm now realizing I probably should focus on math and history. Or would that be geography, technically?
Yeah.
Just realizing I have a human geography quiz tomorrow. Haven't even started studying. My apologies. So that's what I'm going to go home and do tonight. Turiso now off to Lee Crody. Darien team looking to do their homework on this Ridgefield team, and so far they found the holes in the Tigers. Picorni gets knocked to the ground. There's the extra hit. And Dowd is just owning Picorni right now. Rupenstein on the far side. Now Crody. Crody in a nice spin move. And he just retreats it out, finds a cutter. Pavlonis can't get there. Penn comes out of his crease. The ball's knocked loose, the cage open, but grabbed by Jackson Penn, and a brother helps out a brother. And now here comes the Tigers. So far, little action in this fourth quarter. And you're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of a Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Our production crew this afternoon, all student volunteers of Darien High School, bringing you the sights and sounds in this one, doing a great job doing just that. Henry and Brogno, Benoit Chulis, Michael Mercine, and Eric Bellingham, our DAF Media Advisor, Damian Andrew. Again, so glad you can be with us on this Thursday night. Watching 2 of the premier teams in the FCIAC throw down here from Tiger Hollow. Colsey just past Reinhardt, and he will watch it out. And that's just an instance of you see the ball, you realize you can't get there, and it's going the other way. Turnover on Colsey and the Tigers. Wave on the restart. 7:07 to play. The 3-3 Wave and the 4-2 Tigers. Hagan now, the jump pass to Lancaster. Lancaster scored the last for the Wave. Again, Darien, the number 23 team in the country. They fell quite a ways, Cooper. Were ranked, I think, number 11 in that Chaminade game this past weekend. The loss to the Flyers. And that one getting in the middle of it is Barnett's. Barnett going to the cage. He's turned away by Penn. The scrum for it.
Looks like there's going to be a push from behind against Ridgefield, so Darien will retain possession here.
A pack of Tigers on Barnett. They're not able to come away with it, and instead it's Porter Barnett that prevails. And now Darien stays on the offense. But as I was saying, Darien fell quite a ways after that loss to Chaminade and the loss to Staples. Fell all the way down from the 11th rank to the 23rd rank. And they're looking to hold that ground here. And if they can pull off the upset of the century on Sunday and take down St. Anthony's, that would be quite something special. And actually, I'm just being told by my producer I should have said an ambush of Tigers. I guess that's the technical term for a group of Tigers. And that's a goal. Porter Barnett with the ambush on Richfields. And he's got the goal for the Wave.
Yeah, Porter able just to almost run right by his defender, and, you know, great opportunity there for Barnett, and he was able to capitalize on it.
Weaving through the Tiger defenders, Barnett finishes for the goal. And it's now 12-5 Darien. Our score, Darien leading Ridgefield, and Roy Colsey will come out and take his time out in this second half. And trailing by 7 this late in the game, you got to assume Ridgefield's looking for that big spark plug to get him back in this game. And that's exactly what 14th-year head coach Roy Colsey will look to do for this Ridgefield team as they trail 12-5. You're watching the DAF Media Network. We're going to step aside and be right back with more action between the Wave and the Tigers. .6:03 to play, 12-5 Darien. The face-off won by Ridgefield. Had to hold out on that. But again, Darien going to Gavin Pearsall inside the face-off X, the midfielder for Darien, called up prior to this contest. And Cooper, how important is it for head coach Jeff Braemeier to call up those guys in the middle of the season and give them some experience?
Well, it's definitely very important for the growth of the team, especially next year.
And Pavlonis wide open for the goal. A beautiful sequence ending with Jack Pavlonis with the goal. Jack Pavlonis catches the pass and shoots that one right in front of the cage for the goal. 54. And the sophomore has his second goal on the season. And what did you see there, Cooper, on that play?
It was just a great finish from Darien. You know, they've been getting great opportunities right in front of the net, and they've been capitalizing, like I've been saying. And they're kind of running away with it, 13-5, 5:38 remaining. If Ridgefield wants an opportunity to come back, they're going to have to go full head of steam now.
Barba Gallo getting fancy with it on the Tiger head, and he's got another face-off win. Bilodeau setting up the offense. Kevin Roach in the game for Darien, the 6'8 sophomore. I mean, he does stick out pretty noticeable out there when you got a 6'8 player right in front of the cage. Beach. Beach now into the 30 with it. Takes the shot just wide. He takes a hit. His helmet comes off. A big hit Beach takes, but he's a hockey player. He's used to it. Bilodeau restarts it, finds the ball to Briggs McGuckin.
And unlike in football, Beach is able to stay on the field even though his helmet came off.
Which I feel like, so Cooper, you've obviously played football and lacrosse. Which one do you think is more secured on the head? Would you say it's the lacrosse helmet or the football helmet?
I would probably say the football helmet is definitely more secured, as typically lacrosse helmets are a little looser, and there's a shot right there from Beach.
Just wide. Also do want to point out Ridgefield making a goaltending change. They're going to Pierce Grabber, the sophomore. Again, one of two sophomores protecting the pipes for Ridgefield this year. They lost the likes of Shepard from a year ago, and now it's Penn and Grabber, the two horses looking to protect the net for Roy Colsey's squad. And Penn's night comes to an end, gives up 13 goals against Darien, and Grabber now sees some time.
And you're seeing Darien, they're giving different looks. You got Kevin Roach, number 11, getting his first action tonight.
Again, when you're 6'8", I mean, it's easy to get that one-timer alley hoop ball. Big hit, and Crody loses it. Round ball fielded by Brian Fitzpatrick, the sophomore first-year Tiger. And now Roy Colsey's team will start to dig into their depth. And Cooper, while it might be a loss from Ridgefield, if the score holds where it is, what do you think the Tigers can take away from this game here tonight?
The Tigers, you know, throughout this game, they've had definitely great opportunities. Hagen's came up huge for Darien, but, you know, it was definitely the turnovers that hurt them tonight. And I think at practice, you know, maybe it was a little bit of the nerves, but they got to focus on keeping possession.
So some whistles here, and Ridgefield will have a penalty called against them. So they will send a player off to take a player. And a 30-second man up for the Wave is what it will be. He didn't catch what the penalty was for. It might have been a legal substitution. Nonetheless, Darien's got the next 20 seconds on the man up. Looking to capitalize and add another. Pavlonis down low. Now Crody. DeRiso along the perimeter, looking to find the hole. DeRiso crossway to Crody. Bullet pass down low, trying to skip it past the goalie. Grabber was Kevin Roach, and the flag will be thrown on it. And that will come in with 3:23 left to be played, and just as the Ridgefield Tigers get a player freed from the box, they send another to the box. Another man up for Darien. This time it will be the likes of number 28 for the Tigers, A.J. Lenz, with the 2-minute penalty. Actually, I'm not sure why I said just assuming 2 minutes, nonetheless a penalty for Lenz for slashing, and it's just a minute penalty. I'm so used to hockey whenever I hear penalty, and that's the mindset I got into. Restart for Kevin Roach in the Wave. 3:20 to play. A minute on the penalty. Darien looking to capitalize on the man up. Pavlonis. Now to Roach. Roach takes the shot, and he scores! Kevin Roach from downtown, and it's 14-5. The big sophomore winds up, lets it ride, and he puts one in the back of the cage. The sophomore with the goal for Darien. It's a nine-point game. It's 14-5, our score. 3:10 to play. Again, the running clock is at 12, so it's not like the girls at 10. But nonetheless, it moves it to 14-5. Knocked down is Pearsall, fighting through the The hit's on a nice grab and a nice move by Lancaster. And Darien wins another face-off. Roach, he wants some more. Give it to him. Kevin Roach, his second of the game. And this Wave team is handing it to the Tigers at this point.
Yeah, you saw last goal. He showed that he showed the Tigers that he had an outside shot, and this time he used his 6'8" frame to just body his defenseman out of the way.
It's crazy to see a sophomore who is 6'8" out there, and Kevin Roach is getting it done, his second of the game. And goal number 4 for Kevin on the season. Talk about an athletic family. Kevin, 6'8", a sophomore, sister Jillian off to Colby to play volleyball for the Mules. Took the Darien girls volleyball team to an FCIAC and state championship this fall. Scrum for it on the Tiger head inside the face-off X. Darien making a goaltending change. Kean Levine coming in, the senior captain. Saw some action in the second half of the Fairfield-Ludlow game, made some saves. But Carter Hagan, his day is done, and a masterful day from Carter Hagan. 11 saves, and he gave this team a lead. 10-goal Darien lead. I was going to say Pavlonis because I saw the 4 on it real quick. Instead, it's Wes Scallon, 34, one of the call-ups for Darien today. Roach now to Crody. See, I never thought of lacrosse like baseball in the sense that they've got all these call-ups and demotions, and I mean, they don't have AAA, but they have JV. And Jeff Braymeyer loves to call these players up mid-season, one of them being Wes Scallon wearing the number 34. A low shot through some traffic. That time was Barella putting the body on the line, the junior Tiger. Pavlonis looking to get in the middle of it. Barella, a football player and a wrestler for Ridgefield High, takes his talents to the lacrosse fields. And now down by 10, the Tigers looking to finish this game off strong. Jimmy Gallo. 4 multi-goal games this season. He only has 1 in the game. But the Tigers are hungry for some more. That one's caught. Flag has been thrown. And the Tigers get the free position with 1:20 to play. Gallo rifles this one out of play. And here comes the penalty against the Blue Wave and number 34, Wes Scallon. So Scallon's first game for the Wave, and he draws a penalty, giving the Tigers a man up. Actually, 2 penalties on Darien. Looks like 2 guys took a knee in the box. Number 34, Scallon takes a 30-second, and number 28 for Darien takes a minute penalty, Stephen Olvani. So 2 penalties going against the Wave.
I believe Wes Scallon got called for offsides, and Stephen Olvani got called for a slash.
They're going to have to start the clock, however. And timekeeper now starts it. That one knocks loose. Off to the restraining line. The dogfight for it. Grabbed by number 44, Gallo. Under a minute left from Tiger Hollow. Gallo bounces it, stopped by Levine. The rebound, the second chance, the cut. And it's a goal. Number 55, James Moriarty with the goal. A beautiful hot potato sequence, and it ends with Moriarty picking up the goal for the Tigers. Brendan Moriarty, the junior, with the goal for the Tigers, and it's 15-6. We're talking a little bit about, before the broadcast, Cooper, Sherlock Holmes reference, Moriarty. Pretty sure that was the villain in the Sherlock Holmes trilogy.
I cannot say. I'm not sure. I have not seen Sherlock Holmes.
I swore that was his name. I mean, it was a book series. I can't say I've read that many books over my years, although I think I'm right on that. and nobody knows, so no one's fact-checking me on that. Nonetheless, there's 32 seconds left to go. I want to say Professor Moriarty. Again, I probably should stop making these references at some point. Nonetheless, there is 22 seconds left to go. Professor James Moriarty. Artie, look at that. It's another correct call right there. Know my literature.
Yeah, you've been almost spot on tonight, except for your popcorn rating.
What do you mean? The popcorn was delicious here.
It was good, but it was definitely not a 9.
I thought it was really delicious. Do you know what else is delicious, Cooper?
Let me guess, you're going to say victory.
How about a 15-6 victory for the Darien Blue Wave? They come in at Tiger Hollow, and they will take down the Tigers with some room to spare, and Darien will stay afloat above 500, and they move to 4-3 on the season. Ridgefield dropping to 4-3 themselves as they move to 1-2 in the conference. Darien 2-1. And Cooper, what does Darien need to do differently as they head into St. Anthony's on Saturday in a big game against the Friars at Cy Donnelly Fields?
Well, Darien came into this matchup and played a really strong game, you know, at all levels. Carter Hagan came up huge in the cage. Wilson did a great job holding Colsey all day, and the offense was productive. Picorni had a hat trick, and that's exactly what Darien wanted to do. And I think if they're able to play like that, if they're able to play the same way they did tonight, they're definitely going to have a great game against St. Anthony's.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Ridgefield. They lost the likes of Wade Steffens, Lauren Tanney, Burns, Shepard, Winkler, Kai, DeGrias, Colsey, and so many other players. It's a team that's really rebuilding this year for head coach Roy Colsey and the Tigers. What did you see out of Ridgefield tonight?
Well, you know, Ridgefield's a pretty young team. You know, they had a lot of turnovers, but that all comes with experience. They just got to calm down, hold the ball, and as you saw tonight, when they had the ball and took their time on offense, they were able to produce, but Hagan got the best of it.
Now, how about for this Ridgefield team? They head into Manhasset tomorrow night for a clash with the Indians. What do the Tigers need to do differently?
You know, obviously they got to get their stars to get going. Colsey, not a big night for him, only 1 goal. But Chris Reinhardt came up pretty big for the Tigers tonight, had a couple. But if those two are able to get going early, it should be a good matchup.
A team win for Darien for sure. They take down Ridgefield by the final of 15-6. That's going to do it from us here at Tiger Hollow. For our entire DAF Media production crew, Henry Imbrogno, Ben White-Schulis, Michael Mercine, Eric Bellingham, and our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew Cooper Puff, joined alongside me. I want to give a big thank you to Dane Street and his entire staff here at Ridgefield High School for their hospitality of our entire crew at Tiger Hollow. Saying good night from Tiger Hollow. Again, Darien, your victors by the final of 15-6 over the Ridgefield Tigers. Saying good night. I've been Braden Shank, and we thank you for watching.